Hello, we're enjoying being outside, although obviously the weather's changed rather now. Um, one of the things that a number of people in church life are very concerned about is to care for other people in church. And generally speaking, in most churches, the majority of lay people, and often the majority of clergy across the diocese, will be primarily concerned for the pastoral needs of those around them. And this can be demonstrated by spending time with people, by chatting with people, by encouraging people, and by little acts of kindness that are very important to people, whether that is doing their shopping or getting things off high shelves, changing light bulbs, all sorts of little things that people need help with. And that's really, really good. And so often people just need to be encouraged, built up and helped in very basic ways, given lift to appointments and so on. And there are some people who are just very good at doing that sort of thing, are very thoughtful and very kind. It's absolutely wonderful. It'd be nice to think about how we could take that a stage further. For example, maybe if we just read up a little bit more about the Christian response to bereavement, we'd be able to help people who are in bereavement a little bit more. Maybe if we try to understand why people have difficult inner feelings, we could do something about that as well, and look at the whole issue of inner healing and emotional wholeness. And that's really, really challenging for us because, little things can be changed. Bigger things are much more difficult. And so often what happens when we're dealing with people who we're caring for pastorally is that we can listen to them, which is very important, help people to talk things out, which is really important, and help people to understand a little bit about what's going on in their lives, which helps them to be able to cope with it. And that's true for all of us. And, no matter how strong we are in helping others, we also need that for ourselves. But then Jesus didn't just leave his church like that. He started to give us a little bit more wisdom, a little bit more understanding, which actually sits there in the Bible, although we don't necessarily see it. That a lot of things are rooted in us or have been planted in us at various stages in our lives, which affect the way that we behave. And if we begin to grow in learning how to address these things a little bit more, praying a little bit more about them, then we might be able to have a little bit more ammunition to deal with the negative things in our own lives and in the lives of others. So perhaps there's a journey for some of us there who feel especially called to pastoral care in being able to help people in a journey to inner healing and emotional wholeness. If you think that might be you, then you can talk to me about the sorts of resources to start to explore. But above all, let's remember that people value your time. They value your listening. And even if they can come across as a bit grumpy and negative, they value your encouragement. So let's pray that the Lord gives us emotional intelligence and sensitivity to people that we're dealing with, that the Lord will enrich our conversation with his wisdom, and that the Lord will prompt us to speak to the right person at the right time in the right way. Because he already knows what's going on in people's lives and what they need. And though sometimes it might seem strange to us, but sometimes we can actually be the answer to someone's prayers.